teaching you how to play Tutorial Tuesday.
What's up, y'all? This is Wax, and welcome to the first episode of Tutorial Tuesday, the show where I teach aspiring guitar players out there how to play my songs. Before you get started watching this video, look at your feet and make sure you're wearing the proper foot gear for acoustic guitar playing. Flip-flops and/or sandals. Enough with the pleasantries. Let's get started. This is a pretty simple song to play just because it never changes. It just has 4 chords and it does the same thing over and over again. So basically the entire song just goes. That loop is pretty much the entire song for both the verse and the chorus. So you just have to learn that part. So the first chord is an E major 7th chord. So you put your first finger on the 12th fret of the E string, your third finger on the 13th fret of the D string, and then your pinky on the 13th fret of the G string. So you're going to hear these 3 notes. Now all these other strings, you know, you want to block them. You want to use some part of your other part of your finger to block them. So when you play the whole thing, it'd be like, hear those little blocks? You hear that, Davey? Sounds like a little clock. But, you know, it's just like memories. You know, some of them you want to live in and remember. You know what I mean? But then some of them you want to block. You know, it's just like a bad memory from your childhood. Like, you know, like this is Christmas with the family. This is Uncle Steve. This is Disneyland. You know, this is when you won that trophy for your Kung Fu tournament or space camp or skateboard camp. Uncle Steve comes back. Uncle Steve comes back again, you know? So you want to block all the strings that you're not actually playing. That's kind of a technique that you're always going to have to do if you play percussive guitar with a pick. You know, you're going to get a lot of chords where you only play 3 notes, but you got to block the rest of the strings. So that's going to sound like. Then you're going to move your hand back to the 9th fret, and you're going to play a minor 7 chord, kind of like a D flat minor 7. So you're going to play the D flat right here. 9th fret of the E string. Again, skip the A string. Block them out. Uncle Steve. Uncle Steve. 9, 9, 9. You could play it like this, but I just like to play the 3 notes. It keeps it more simple and heartfelt. So then you're going to go from this guy, and it's a real simple move because you just move all these guys down 1 and then add this guy back here. So 9, 7, 9, 9 is like the tabs or whatever. This would be like a F sharp minor 9 chord. And then you're going to take it back to the B7 right there. Another just 3-noter, you know what I'm saying? Just a little 3-noter, block yet again. I'm not gonna keep this Uncle Steve thing going through the whole series, but you know, just for this one, it's like Disneyland, Uncle Steve, space camp, Christmas with family, Uncle Steve, Uncle Steve. You don't let that. In this case, it actually sounds nice. Sometimes you might let that one ring. Sometimes you might revisit. You went to therapy. You know what I'm saying? The memories come back. Maybe Uncle Steve wasn't so bad. Maybe it was just some memory I had from a dream. You know what I mean? Maybe it was a different uncle and I repressed it for so long. It was actually a beautiful memory. You know what I mean? So for this one, sometimes when you get back to that chord, that B7 chord at the end, sometimes you block it. But then sometimes when you switch it, if you want to get funky, you can actually let it ring. Sounds beautiful. You know what I mean? And if you want, sometimes you can even add that little pinky right there. If you want to get a little jazzy, you can bring them back. If you want to switch it up, bring them back again. There's a lot of things you can do right there, you know what I'm saying, if you're thinking on the fly. You know, that's what you want to do as a guitar player. You don't want to play things in a robotic, must do same chords all time. Don't play like that. Don't think robot. You know, if you're gonna think robot, think RoboCop. You know, he kind of started to become like an actual person. He might have feelings, emotions. Then he plays with them. You know what I'm saying? So basically, you're gonna start with your beginning, and on that B, remember. Now that you've got the left hand down, let's talk a little bit about the right hand. You're kind of keeping your hand moving, I guess, to the beat. I'm hitting down, up, down, up. Down, up, and everything else is kind of a scratch. You can kind of hit like where the snare drum would hit by accenting it like that, you know? Another thing you can do that I think I do sometimes is you can be like, can emphasize the bass line, you know. As you become more advanced, there's a lot of different techniques you can do. This song happens to be a song where the open strings sound good on it, just because it's in the key of E. So you can actually leave all those Uncle Steves whenever you want. So when all is said and done, you're gonna have something like this. And once you get comfortable playing it, it won't really feel like you're playing it anymore. It'll just be kind of like second nature. You'll just be in the pocket grooving, man. Just the same way you would like stomp your feet or clap your hands. You're just deep in the pocket. Like a receipt after you washed your pants but never took the receipt out of the pocket. You know what I mean? It's just deep in there, just formed into the pocket. And then you start to think about singing the song, or even better, you're just the guitar player in the band and you ain't got to sing at all. It's just like you just sit there and play and like look at girls in the audience and shit. You know what I mean? But if you do have to sing, you just start adding it, you know. So smoke 'em if you got 'em. We came to the top all the way from the bottom. I mean, I don't really know how to explain that. You just have to get the guitar part down to where you're not really thinking about it, and then you can concentrate on your vocal performance, your oral performance. Just concentrate on that. And I always end it with that chord. And that's Limousine. If you enjoyed this tutorial and you want to learn another song, let me know in the comments which song you want to learn. Stay tuned for another episode next week.
Teaching you how to play Tutorial Tuesday.